Hey everybody, I'm Dave Zare. I'm the NBA editor here at Sportsnet.ca. Alongside me, multi-platform superstar Donovan Bennett. How are you, Donovan?
Good. It's a good day to be a Raptors fan.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Really exciting day for the Raptors organization. Two things went down today. One is the signing of Jared Sullinger, and one is the extension of DeMar DeRozan. 5 years, $145 million for Mr. DeRozan, who must be pretty ecstatic about that. Let's start with Sullinger. Real quick. It's, I think, somewhat of a surprising move. I don't know if Sullinger was the top of the Raptors' wish list heading into the offseason, but he's certainly a nice consolation prize if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, he's not Al Horford or Pau Gasol or even Paul Millsap. But he is a fit. From a need standpoint, when you look at sheer numbers, Scola gone, Bismack gone. So from a depth perspective, he helps, and you're not playing your young guys in Siakam and Bebe and Pirtle right away. The other thing, too, is whether or not it's Patterson starting or Sullinger starting, he's a nice piece, a nice fit as far as complementary skills in getting the best out of JB, which I think is important. When you look at the deals that this team has made over the last 2 years, there are a lot of low-risk, high-reward deals and allowing guys to change their perception in the league. Bismack last year, giving him a 1+1 for low money, and obviously he made more money on the open market. So now you're doing the same thing again with Sullinger. If it doesn't work out, it's only a 1-year deal, and the price point is a bargain. You're getting at him 2013 or 2014 price, but in this evaluation, this economic climate, he could have made much more on the open market. You'd think, given he's a guy who'd get you a double-double, any given night. So we'll see where his weight is at. That's a big concern, but the optics look good as far as the Raptors are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, he almost averaged a double-double coming off the bench for Boston. I do think you'll see him starting here in Toronto. And like you said, the term is really good for both parties. I mean, for Sullinger, what you get is an incentivized Jared Sullinger, who's playing essentially in a contract year right now for the Raptors, who I think stand to benefit from that. I mean, he's going to be really hungry, which, as you alluded to, has never been an issue with Jared Sullinger. But now, the Raptors are going to be able to, like I said, benefit from his strong play. DeRozan, on the other hand, we know what he brings to the table. We know how much the Raptors benefit from what he does for them. Top 10 scorer in the league, second highest scorer in the East. What does this mean for the franchise, bringing this guy in long term, 5 more years at least?
Well, I think from a perception standpoint, it allows the fan base to take a nice deep breath, exhale, and say, you know what, we're moving forward clearly in the wins column, but also as far as putting away those demons of the past, worrying about drafting stars, developing them, putting a lot of time, effort, and love into them, and then leaving and going south. So you look at obviously Vince Carter, and even before that, Damon Stoudemire to a certain degree, Tracy McGrady, Chris Bosh, and so there's always an expectation of, well, who's going to be the next one to jilt us, right? The way Oklahoma City fans in many ways feel right now. So the Raptors are at a point where their star, who in his prime, where he'd have lots of suitors and money is no issue because he was going to get a big deal from anyone, says, you know what, I want to stay. So much so, I'm not even going to listen to other offers. So if you're a Raptors fan, it's good to know next 5 years, if you have this DeMar DeRozan jersey, you can feel safe that he's going to be here, barring a trade. And based on what he said in the press conference, he'd like to end his career here.
Yeah, and it's what he said is what I like the best about this, because he's been saying that he wants to stay in Toronto long term, and whether you believe him or not, he's kind of backed. He's put his money where his mouth is today, where the Raptors put their money where DeRozan's mouth is, or you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
DeRozan's rich.
Both.
But yeah, and so for the Raptors, they're rewarding a guy who's shown a commitment to the franchise, and they're kind of paying it back. And I think for the Raptors, it's going to really make them a strong team. Continuity is kind of the theme of this offseason now for Toronto. Sullinger aside, you're bringing back basically the same team. How do you think they're going to figure in the East standings compared to last year? I mean, we know the East has gotten, I don't know if they've gotten better, it's gotten different.
Yeah, totally. It's interesting, that's for sure. And you mentioned the continuity, and they basically branded themselves as, you come in here, you work hard, do an honest day's work, you embrace being a Raptor and embrace the country of Canada, we'll reward you and pay you. In this offseason, that continuity starts with Dwayne Casey, did all those things. He's back, obviously DeMar DeRozan. We'll see what happens moving forward with a guy like Kyle Lowry. But because of that continuity, a lot of teams moved pieces, but I don't know if they necessarily got better.
Yeah.
They're just different.
I'm with you.
So you look at the Knicks have made some moves. Chicago, Indiana, structurally they'll play different, but are they necessarily better? Orlando made some head-scratching at best moves. Obviously Boston was trending in the right direction, and the infusion of talent like Horford helps, and looks like they may not be done. But I think the Raptors still, are at the top, maybe top three with Boston and obviously Cleveland, because they have that continuity, they have that understanding, and they have a template with which to work for to get better.
Yeah, big day for the Raptors, like you said off the top. Sullinger, now DeRozan inked long term. I can't wait to see how it plays out on the court. Got anything else, Donovan?
No, I think it's going to be a fun time, not just to be a basketball fan, but specifically in this country to be a Raptors fan, knowing that you have the same cast of characters, and you almost have another free agent signing in DeMar Carroll, who didn't play last year. This is a franchise that's trending up, and we're going to be all over it, covering it this year. So stay tuned to Sportsnet.ca for our continued Raptors coverage.